Stories in today's video. 1. Update. My F27 flatmate F27 has told my boyfriend M31 she's in love with him. 2. Update. How do I 26F tell my husband 31M I'm addicted to drugs? 3. Update. My fiancé 24F has no bridesmaids and it's making her so upset she wants to call off the wedding. How can I 25 meters help? You can read the original post. Okay. Firstly, thank you all for your advice, and no thank you to the few who took it upon themselves to DM me to be inappropriate or creepy. WTF, read the room. It gets a little intense, so first I'll just cover some things I wasn't able to in my original post. I trust my boyfriend completely. Even if I didn't, this apartment is large, not M*SSIVE, I know where that beloved MF is 24/7. A lot of you asked when after my housemate's confession he told me about it. He told me a couple of hours afterwards. He explained to me after we had a chat about it that he was afraid I wouldn't believe him or be angry, because at first he'd thought it was a weird joke that made him uncomfortable, and he felt, rightly so, weirded out. I agree with the bulk of you that her continued touching is *SSMENT, and while a number suggested he just confront her himself, I empathize with being in a situation without breathing room where someone is surely *SSINGU. It's not easy, and you can quickly find yourself unsure if those brief moments of crossing a line happened. He's not on our lease, and understandably he was concerned about me and the power dynamic in the house. BC her room is a mini granny flat, she pays the bigger share. I also don't believe that it was, as some suggested, a hypomanic episode. I have BP2, and while I understand the love rush, she exhibited zero other behaviors, and never tried to contact my BF outside of the weird touching. I also can appreciate there's no way she was actually in love. So, yesterday, after a tense few days of trying to avoid her, my BF and I were in the kitchen at breakfast, with her around in the living area. I went to our bathroom, she has an ensuite, which is just off the main area, to brush my teeth. I walked back out to grab my phone as she was sidling behind my boyfriend who was looking in the fridge, and caught her running her hand and forearm across his lower back where his t-shirt had ridden up a little. My boyfriend, who didn't see me, yelped really loudly and just lost it. He yelled at her to stop, and when they both saw me he starts going, You see? This is what I was talking about. I was furious, just whole body anger, and I could see she had now realized he had told me about her confession behavior, and just sprinted to her room and slammed the door. My BF and I went out for a walk to calm down, and he kept apologizing for not being more firm, but he was shaken up. Some of you told me I should just confront her head on, which in the moment I 100% sided with. I was so angry for him. He told me he'd rather give her the opportunity to do it diplomatically. I appreciated what you guys said about lockdown being extenuating, and in discussion with our mutual friend, I was willing to believe that an element of it was naivete, and a bit of fantasy gone too far. I was willing to be kind to her. When we returned with a plan of action, we knocked on her door but she didn't answer. We tried a couple of times but she wouldn't come out, although she was seeing my WhatsApp messages. Come late afternoon, I was just over it, so I knocked, and told her I was coming in. I sat her down on her bed and told her gently but firmly it was inappropriate, making us uncomfortable, told her she had to get the hell over it herself if she intended to continue to live with us. She burst into tears and starts crying about how she's so sorry, and what a bad person she is, and she can't believe the pressure of lockdown is getting to her, whatever, and I felt bad. Started sympathizing, trying to be calm *Shanate. And then she says, it's just so unfair that the guy I'm in love with has a really great girlfriend. Reader, I lost my *T. Unfair, my *SS. I told her she had a lot of growing up to do, and perspective to learn, and that she owed the house an apology. She started to have a meltdown, a full, weeping, hiccuping snotty meltdown. And then when I stood up to leave, I spotted, in her clothes rack, my freaking shirt. I took it, and went back to my room. My housemate cried loudly with the door open until 7 p.m. for attention, when I cracked. I used our emergency contact sheet, called her mom, told her she had to come pick up my housemate. I've never met this woman who came rushing in like a superstar, but the look of annoyance and salmon on her face when she arrived and found her 27-year-old daughter having a tantrum told me this wasn't a new part of her personality. My housemate also STFU pretty quickly after she realized her mum was there. They didn't say anything to us, and we just hid in our room until they were gone. I think she'll be gone at least for a while, but I texted her to let her know it would be best if she texted me before she came back. IDK when I'll see her. Technically the lease ends in August, so my BF and I think we can make it work and find someone new, and if not, it's not so long till we can resign without her. As a coda to all this, my BF mentioned if she took a blouse, maybe she took other stuff too. I appreciate some of you may consider this an invasion of privacy, but I did go back in, just to check the clothes rack. I found a set of my jeans, my t-shirt, one of my boyfriend's work shirts, a vinyl I owned, my F*C King charm bracelet from when I was a kid from inside my jewelry box, and a sheet of my old antidepressants. This was just what was on the rack, on display. I imagine there's more in the drawers. I don't know if this was the right thing to do, but I left them there for now. BC I don't want there to be any doubt she stole them. There's zero chance she's going to live here anymore. Honestly, I hope she does get help. I'm really angry and violated, as is my BF, but I can empathize with the havoc an uncontrolled mental health issue can wreak on your behavior, and while it's still wrong, it's still *CKS for her to experience it and lose friends. Note, *, I can't be sure, none of us can. But I feel like maybe she has a histrionic personality disorder. *TLDR, my relatively normal housemate who told my BF she was in love with him turned out to also be a thief. Yikes. P.S. Our mutual friend has told me another friend who went to school with my housemate had told her a rumor she'd told a bunch of people in their year that she had leukemia. Yikes. Link to my original I've been sober since May 22, 2017 smiley face. It's been almost a year and a half since I posted. I was a mess that day and really overwhelmed. You all gave me the push I needed to gather my courage and tell my husband about my drug use. Thank you so much for that. I mean it, I knew he needed to know, but I couldn't make myself follow through until I received encouragement, a bunch of internet strangers. I hate to think what might have happened had I continued hiding it from him. My husband has been supportive, and kind throughout my recovery. I wouldn't be doing so well today without him. There aren't words to express how much I love him and how grateful I am to be married to such a good man. With the help of my therapist, I was able to open up to him about being raped. It was a violent, ugly, all-around horrible incident, and the effect PTSD has had on me. It's an explanation, not an excuse, for the drug use. We've had to work on rebuilding trust, and I realize that's going to take time. He still prefers I stay home most of the time, and he has reservations about new friends. Both are totally reasonable in my opinion. I understand his feelings completely. We do more together now and I feel more included in his life, which has really helped my mental health. Every day I do my best to prove my love, appreciation, and respect for him. We're both continually putting effort into ourselves and our marriage. As for my recovery, I honestly feel a little weird calling it that. I didn't use long-term and didn't face many of the same challenges as other addicts. But I am an addict, I'm always aware of that, and I realize I'm no different fundamentally from someone doing heroin on the streets. Drugs were a distraction and a way to escape bad memories and nightmares. They were also part of my social life, as my only friend in the area at that time used them too. Once I accepted that I had, and will always have, PTSD and began getting proper treatment, I didn't want anything to do with drugs. I'm extremely lucky and thankful I stopped when I did. Dealing with my mental health hasn't been easy. Last August the 1st went to a behavioral health hospital for 6 days. I didn't want to go at first, but my husband and therapist convinced me I needed to. They were right. I felt much better afterward, and I met a few people like me while I was there. It made me feel better to know I wasn't alone. People can say that you aren't alone all the time, but it's different when you actually experience it. My husband and I went to couples therapy for 3 months. It helped us quite a bit. We realized we needed to talk about things that hadn't occurred to either of us before sitting down with a therapist. It helped me understand his feelings and how my drug use, and concealing it from him, affected him. It helped him understand why I did what I did. It gave us a safe place to talk, and that eventually led to better communication in private. I'm still seeing a therapist twice a month and attend group therapy once a month. I'm stable, healthy, and happy. I love my life and I'm really excited about the future. We're expecting a baby in the spring and I can't wait to be a mom. I'm so looking forward to raising a family with my husband. Life is good. Smiley face. Thanks again. Our relationships TLDR. I've been sober since May 22, 2017. My husband and I are doing well, we're happy and very much in love. He's supported me and loved me through this process. We've had a few struggles along the way, but we work through things as they come up and move forward. I'm continuing to receive treatment for my mental health and I feel stronger than I ever have. I've learned I can't hide from my problems, and now that I've received the appropriate treatment for PTSD, I don't want to hide from it anymore. Did not expect to update this fast. Did not expect to update at all, unless something miraculous happened. And it did. In short, I have the best friends in the world. I read through a ton of these comments, but not all, over 1,000, and decided to look for my fiancé's box of wedding planning stuff, because I had a suspicion. Inside the box was all these magazine clippings of a big church wedding, flower ideas and stuff. And then I saw pictures of the dresses. They were all big, poofy ornate things that don't seem akin to my fiancé's style at all. But, they're similar to the dresses my sisters wore at their weddings. It all sort of clicked for me. My fiancé probably doesn't want a church wedding or any of these fancy trimmings, she's trying to win my family's favor. The hell, I really should have noticed this earlier and gotten more involved, I know. My fiancé flew home on Thursday to spend a few days with her dad, Father's Day weekend and all. I couldn't go because of work, so I was alone until this morning. So, real late at night, I called up my buddy Ravi, 26M. Ravi's my best man, we've known each other since we were kids, split up when we went off to college, and reconnected 3 years ago. We moved to SC so I could join the company he works for. I just opened up to Ravi. It was really late, but he listened to me anyway, about my worries about my fiancé. He said that it was very likely that she was trying to curry favor with my family, but she probably wasn't going to admit to it easily. He said he'd talk to her. I told him that he barely knows her. He said not to worry, and that he'd be around tomorrow evening. My fiancé came home happy, she always is after seeing her dad, this morning. I went off to work without asking about the wedding, and she set to work on her writing, she's off for the summer. I got home early and at like 5 p.m. Ravi came to my house with my other good friends, Carson, Andrew, and Tim, 23 to 30M. I know all these guys from various places and we're all a solid group. Still, this was unexpected. Ravi came up to my fiancé and said that the guys were taking her wedding dress shopping. We were both freaked out as hell. I had no idea this was coming, and my fiancé looked like she wanted to crawl into a hole and die. She whispered to me, "They won't like me," and I urged her to just go for it. Ravi reminded her that he has sisters, Carson's been divorced, and Andrew's had his fair share of girlfriends, so they know dresses. Plus, he has a lady friend that works at a small boutique, where they'd try first. She still didn't want to go, and then he said something like, "Hey, you're marrying our best friend, don't you think we should get to know you and make sure you're not a ghost or something?" He's not great with tact. But she chuckled a little at that and gave in. They were gone for a while and came back an hour ago. They didn't find a dress, but they looked around the stores for a while and fiancé found a style she liked, not the poofy ball gown style. They also went out for ice cream, and when they walked in the door, she was joking and laughing with them all. I hadn't seen her so happy in a long time. It was amazing. Then we all sat down together and Ravi asked her to talk to me about what's on her mind. I still don't know how they got her to open up. She whispered that she didn't really want the big church wedding, that she wanted to wait a little while and plan a small ceremony for just the people we really care about. I was all for it. I told her not to worry about bridesmaids or anything, it could just be us. She said no, she wants her dad, the guys, and my family to be there. Andrew, a kick*SS guitar player, said he'd put together a band for us. He asked my fiancé what her favorite song is, he'd figure out an arrangement. This is the kind of question she usually dodges, but she blushed a little and actually told the truth. Panama by Van Halen. If anyone cares, girl knows how to rock out. This was the real sign that she's starting to trust them. I don't think anyone knows her favorite song except me and her dad, who bought her Van Halen CDs growing up. I told her I'd call my family and tell them the church wedding's off. If they make a big stink about it, I don't see king care. I have my bros and my beautiful future bride. That's all the family I need.